What's up, YouTube subscribers, social media, everybody out there? What's up? What's up? What's up? Hello. Listen, I want to share some information with you. This is the place that we talk about every Tuesday. I go and share a video or go live on my YouTube page where I'm sharing information about life, love, marriage, ministry, and money so that we could be able to grow together. But most of all, is learning how to take principles so that we can process them so that we can progress and move into our divine purpose. That's the whole goal of this YouTube channel, is being able to share those tips with you and my experience, man. Listen, one thing I learned about experience is that experience can be mistakes, hiccups, wrongdoing, whatever the case may be, but at the same time, but learning from those things. And so that's what I share with you, is my experience. And so today I want to talk about learning the power of starting again. Learning the power of starting again. So grab your pen, piece of paper. Let's get ready to rock out. Here we go. Let's grow. So, to talk about this and even to start this is learning that there are so many times that I have had to start over and over and start again. And the power of that is that you learn that every room and every place that you go, you have to be willing to learn. But what happens is that we get in what we call our comfort zone because of fear, because of doubt, because of not being assured of who we are or what God has called us to be and what God has called us to do. So we find ourselves in these hiccups of not wanting to grow and not wanting to move outside of our comfort zone. So if you are that person that is in your comfort zone, this video is for you. It may mess you up a little bit, but I promise you, if you learn the principles that I'm going to share with you, you'll be able to move and glide and glean and learn from other people, because it's so important and it's so needed for your next level, for your next moment. I can tell you because I've been there. I am you and you are me, where I was comfortable in different situations and I did not want to be around people that made me uncomfortable, that pushed the best out of me, that made me get uncomfortable in my skin and who I was, not realizing that what they were only doing was trying to pull the best out of me that God already created, God already designed, but they just saw something so valuable and so on point that was in me that I didn't see in myself. Woo! You got to check out my sermon that I'm preaching, title the season of the underground, of the underdog. And so you learn that. So here's the thing that I found out is that in order to get out of my comfort zone, I got to, number one, conquer my fears. Come here. I got to conquer my fears. We got to conquer our fears, those things that terrify us, those things that make us doubt ourselves, those things that make us give up, want to throw in the towel. We got to be willing to conquer our fears. Here's the thing when it comes to conquering our fears is learning that when you start over again, it's like starting, you learn what you need to learn in one circle or with one person. And once you learn those things, now you get around other people and now it's something brand new. I will never forget my husband and I starting our business. And when we started our business, we were in a room with Prairie View A&M University. And while we're in that room, it sounded and felt like these people were speaking another language that I never heard about. It was uncomfortable. It was unfamiliar. It was out of my comfort zone. I wanted to not even listen sometimes and I wanted to quit, but I realized that it wasn't them. It was my fears of what I felt like I could not do. So I had to, number one, conquer my fears, but number two, identify what the fear is. My identification to that fear was, wait a minute. I identified that, first of all, I'm not qualified. I don't feel qualified. I don't feel worthy. And you have to say, when you identify your fear, you got to speak it out loud. I told my husband, I said, man, this is not us. I don't understand what these people are talking about. DBE and WOSB, and they saying stuff I had never heard of. Veteran-owned business, capability statement, and all these different languages that I never heard of. And here's the thing: I had to speak it out loud that I felt dumb. I felt illiterate while being in. We had a 6-week class that we was a part of with Prairie View and A&M, the Bid Academy. Shout out to Prairie View. Yes, in the Bid Academy, in them 6 weeks, week 1, I was ready to quit, okay? Because I could not conquer my fears. Week 2, I had to identify my fears, identify the things that was causing me want to quit. You got to stop and pause and ask yourself this question. What is that thing that I need to say out loud that I'm really afraid of if I'm going to move into my next, if I'm going to do something different? What is that thing? If I'm going to start over again, I got to know what is this thing, right? And I'm going to explain more on the start over. But number 2, you got to be, number 1 was conquer your fears. Number 2, identify your fears. Number 3, write it down by recognizing this thing. You got to be willing to recognize this, my mom and them used to say, this spirit of fear. You got to be willing to recognize that, and you got to know what it is. In order for you to recognize it, I had to recognize in those 6 weeks that, wait a minute, if I don't continue to go and complete this class, I'm going to lose an opportunity that I've never been before. Sometimes you have to be willing to sit in rooms and recognize that, what's making me uncomfortable and want me to pull away from this room is because I do feel this way. I do identify what this is, but I got to write it down so I can take a look at it. So I started writing down the things. Number 1, what they were saying in the class, I needed to write that information down, but then I also had to write down my fears and my doubts of what was going to happen. If I don't go to this class, what's going to happen? If I stop going to this class, what's going to happen? Because here's the thing: we never pause for the cause and say, okay, if I quit now, what's going to happen? I will be crazy to go back to doing the things that I used to do just because I don't understand it. So you got to be willing to say, okay, let me write this thing down so I can look at it and see what is the thing that is causing me to walk in fear. All right. Number 4, I got to realize the opposite of fear is faith. So here's the thing when it comes to starting again is that realizing, okay, when you were in let's say the 10th grade, it was like starting over again when you went to the 11th grade. So it's like you're starting another number. So now I remember going from a girl that, was learning how to be single. All right. Then my next stage was 10. And now I'm getting ready to I got to get married. I got to learn this whole stage again. So as I'm getting married, there's different stages in marriage that I have to learn. When I turned 20 years old, I knew a little bit more, but I still had a lot of things that I needed to learn. So I got around older women that was married, because I got married at 20. So I got around older women that were married. And so now I'm learning stuff in this room with older women that I never heard of before. Now you turn 30. That's a different level when you go to 30. If you look at it like that, you're always starting over. I learned that from TD Jakes, by the way. If you look at it like I'm always starting over, I'm going to go from 20 to 29. Okay, now we got to start over again. Now you get in other rooms, you're doing different things because you're always growing and you're always evolving. Got to be willing to be able to get uncomfortable so that you can have the fear, the opposite thing of fear is faith. That I have enough faith to be in this room to believe that I can do it. That I can do it and I can make it happen. Last but not least, number 5, remember who you serve and who your God is, and what God, the Bible says you can have a cattle on 1,000 hills. Yeah. But he also said that I am made strong in your weakness. So whenever you have weak moments, I'm able to make you stronger. Also, it says that I know the plans that I have for you, plans to prosper you and not harm you. So keep going. That's all I come to tell you. That's it. Keep going, keep pushing. Don't quit. Don't give up. Just be willing to start over again in other rooms. So now I find myself in rooms after going through that class. Now I'm teaching, my husband and I are teaching people how to get a DBA, a DBE, how to get a WOSB, how to get an MBE. We're also teaching, even in ministry, I find myself doing all these events. Now I'm teaching other pastor wives how to do events that I really don't even do no more, but I don't mind doing. By the way, October 21st, Sidebar real quick, October 21st, having a women's conference. But this is something I've been doing over the years, and I teach other women how to go about and do it. Would have never thought that would have been me if I would have stopped. What would have happened if I would, because of fear, because I didn't want to start a women's ministry and I wanted to quit. There was times I did conference that I did not want to even go downstairs because I didn't want to be a part of that conference. There was a lot of things that I did that was afraid, but I allowed my fears to fuel my faith even when it was uncomfortable. Doing some stuff this weekend and I am afraid, but I'm going to do it. I got to do it because I want to know the outcome of what's going to happen. So I would encourage you, be willing to learn and start over. Start again. Start at, if you're in a room, like I said, being in a room and now learning about how to go after major contracts, right? So I got to be in this room and I feel illiterate. I feel like I don't know nothing. I don't even know what to look for. I don't even know what to read. Going after grants. I've never done that before, but I want to be able to learn from somebody else. So you feel illiterate. You just don't feel right. But at the same time, I know the outcome that they have. Come here. I know the outcome that they have. And because I've seen their experience, I know what can happen for me because I see God move in their favor. And I know that if God could do it for them, he can do it for me. But it's from their experience. Come here. It's from their experience. They know what they're talking about and be willing to be a student. So as you're starting over again, I'm done. Be a student in the next room. Are you scared to be a student or do you know everything? Just saying. That's it. That's all. Hey, join me October 21st for the Women of Destiny conference that we're having. And guess what it's called? Fresh Start. Come here. Fresh Start. Come join us. October the 22nd. Doors open at, I think, 8:45 a.m. Join us. We have some dynamic, my spiritual daughters are going to do this. I haven't done a conference in about 2 years. And so now I decided to celebrate 12 years of Women of Destiny. Been in ministry with them for 12 years, ups, down, ins, and out. But we've learned so much. We've grown so much. And I thank God for it. And I decided to, why not have a fresh start in October where we celebrate 12 years and do a conference and start this conference off with my spiritual daughters that are part of our fellowship, and they are pastor wives. So I'm bringing them in to share their experience as well as me closing it out and giving you some tips, man, that's going to prepare you for 2024. You know, I love to plan. They call me the purpose pusher. I want to push you into purpose, but I want to share some tips with you as well as them sharing their tips as well. Man, we're dealing everything from the mind to the body to the soul. We're going to be dealing with that. So come join us, be a part of that. RSVP, you can be a part of that. But until then, if you don't, hey, learn how to start again. That's it. Start again so that you can become a student. Until next time, stay blessed in all that you do. Love you much. Bye-bye.